What you want, when you want it, where you want it. This is The Mesh.
Another holiday season is creeping up on us, and that means it's time to start thinking about smoking turkey and menus for Southern sides that we want on our holiday table. Of course, Thanksgiving and Christmas and the holidays ahead, they're also a time for giving back and helping neighbors in our communities who face a need, whatever it may be. Today, we're combining turkeys and community sport, just like the Hickory Soup Kitchen and Operation BBQ Relief have done for more than a decade, and certainly smoked a lot of turkeys in that time in the Hickory Metro. Joining us, we have a friend of the podcast and past guest, Scott Jarrett, the North Carolina area coordinator for Operation BBQ Relief. Welcome, Scott.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Also joining us today, we have Austin Pierce. He's the executive director of Hickory Soup Kitchen, where he's been making good things happen for more than 15 years. Now, personally, I know Austin is a superhuman, both with superpowers and being a good human in general. And our community is really fortunate to have him here in Hickory. Austin, welcome to the podcast.
Very, very pleased to be here. Thanks.
All right, guys, before we talk turkey, let's talk sides. Well, what's your favorite side at the holiday table? Of all the things you could have, what would it be? Now, I'll make it easy for you. You can pick 3 to go with your meat here at Chigger's Restaurant.
Oh, man. Well, number one's got to be stuffing. It's got to be. And number one's got to, for me, it's got to be stuffing.
Yeah, so I'm with the stuffing too, except I have a recipe that was passed down from my great-grandmother. It's an oyster dressing.
Oh.
And none of those fancy oysters. You have to use the canned ones, the ones that have been in your cabinet a couple of years.
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, when I was a small child, I didn't know there were oysters in it. I had no idea. It wasn't until many years later, that I realized our dressing was different than everybody else.
Yeah. All right, so stuffing or oyster dressing, what else? We got a couple more.
Oh, gosh. Well, you got to have, it's Thanksgiving. You got to have mashed potatoes, right? And hey, it don't. Yeah. And I'll tell you what, let me throw a shout out here. The Hickory Soup Kitchen and Sally and Nolan, they put some mean mashed potatoes on some plates out there. I'm telling you.
Well, okay. Good to know. We got a lot of starch piling up here.
Yep,
dressing, stuffing, and mashed potatoes.
Well,
what else?
So my wife makes the best deviled eggs. She makes I think she makes 6 or 7 dozen, because every Thanksgiving meal that we go to, people request them. And so I have to tell you, it wasn't a staple in my family growing up, but in the last 23 years, I love it because there's a couple that'll get broken, that won't look quite perfect. So yeah. I get some quality control early on the deviled eggs, and Christmas and Thanksgiving both are not without them on our table.
Man, I love some deviled eggs as well. I feel like I could eat a dozen by myself. I don't for the sake of everybody else in the room, but I feel like I could eat a lot. Okay, let's say we're going to talk more about turkey and the big Operation BBQ Relief cook-off with Hickory Soup Kitchen. Quick invitation first. I want folks to visit our website to learn more about Operation BBQ Relief. You can do that at lowslowbbqshow.com. We've got a podcast with Operation BBQ Relief founder Stan Hayes. You'll also find an episode with today's guest, Scott Jarrett. We talked about Hurricane Helene relief recovery in the mountains about this time last year. That's at lowandslowbbqshow.com. You can find the podcast in our episode library. While you're there, sign up for the weekly newsletter, The Lowdown. We'll send the latest Carolina barbecue news to your email inbox on Tuesday mornings. You just find it at lowslowbbqshow.com. So let me start with Austin for the nuts and bolts about how this Hickory Soup Kitchen project's running this community support side of it, the program piece. Now, I know it's a neat program, the buy one, give one operation. It fills a lot of homes with warmth around Hickory on the Thanksgiving holiday. So Austin, tell us all about it. What is going to happen this year?
Well, it's quite the undertaking. When we started out, it was a small operation with basically Scott, me, and a couple other volunteers, and I think we did 75 turkeys the first year, and then gave away 75. Mm-hmm. And so now we're up to where we're selling the turkeys. These are a 16-pound average turkey. We sell them for $50, and these turkeys are well cared after for about 10 days. We get them in a big refrigerated truck that we work out of in the parking lot. They are taken apart piece by piece. We make a brine, a special brine, and Scott can tell you that recipe. I will tell you, though, that it is, I'm sorry. They can't tell you, but there's a lot in there.
There's a lot.
It's not salt and water. And I'll just throw out a few things, Scott. It's got oranges in it.
Yeah.
So we spare no expense. Oranges in October are tough to get. November are tough to get. But we spare no expense on the brine, and they lay in that brine for 2 days, for 48 hours, and we start cooking Monday, I believe, Scott, the Monday before, and we go until people start picking them up on Wednesday morning before Thanksgiving. And the way this works is we sell 150 of them. And then we give away as many as we can on top of that. This year, Scott and I are going to try and feed 500 families. That is the goal. And it takes Operation BBQ to make that happen. We have a ton of support here locally in Hickory and Catawba County, not just for the soup kitchen, but many of our nonprofits, especially this time of year. But with Scott's help, we have managed to bring people from all over the place, from different states that come to this event. And so really, truly, it is a collaboration that without, I don't think we could do it. So I'm indebted to Operation BBQ Relief. I'm indebted to Scott and all his volunteers. He has a legion of them now, Yeah. He's been retired long enough and worked hard at this volunteering thing. He's got him a little army, and it's like a military deployment. I'll tell you. Last year. I at one point I sat back and to see that we're doing more than we've ever done. It's just really it's really phenomenal to watch.
So take us through just a little bit about the community support piece. So these turkeys are bought and paid for by folks around Hickory.
They are. I've got 36 left. That's what I got left. We've only advertised about it one time. You can call my cell phone. I'm the only one that can take the orders. That's 828-638-0671. You can call me, and I would call me before the weekend's over because they're probably going to be gone.
Wow.
And so what we actually, it's more than a buy one, give one. We still call it that because that's what it's about, is you providing for another family. And at the cost of the turkey, we take the rest of the funds and that's what we're feeding those families with. And again, Operation BBQ helps with that also. So not only are we getting the turkeys to those folks in need, we're getting corn, green beans, yeast rolls. They get their choice of pie. I think it's apple and sweet potato.
Oh,
which is it, Scott?
I think. Well, I don't know. You probably are. I think
it's either pumpkin or sweet potato. I know we got the apple, and they get their choice. And so it's not just the turkey for those folks in need. It's the whole shebang.
Yeah, great. Well, so let's talk a little bit about how this got started. You mentioned it kind of in the early going. It was just a couple people in a small building. Scott, tell me how this project got started before you get into the Operation BBQ Relief piece. I know they've just been here in the last several years, but how did this all get started, over a decade ago?
Well, when I retired in 2016, I hooked up with Austin there at the soup kitchen, and just by I knew his name. He's well known in the community, and I knew the name, but I never had met him. And fate, God put us together, and then as I started doing things around there, and trying to help with what I could, I said, it's Thanksgiving, Austin. We need to smoke some turkeys. I said, I've got a big smoker. I said, let's do it. He said, let's do it. So that's kind of basically how it started. And just like Austin said, each year it's grown. Now, last year, unfortunately, we had Hurricane Helene, and we had just come off of that with a 30-day deployment in Hendersonville. And we had, if I'm not mistaken, we had volunteers from 7 states last year that came to Hickory to, to volunteer their time and their talents to help feed people in need. As Operation Barbecue Relief, our main objective is to feed people in disasters.
Mm-hmm.
But we have what we call always serving project.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what this is. This is an always serving project. When there's blue sky days, when there's no, disasters, we're giving back to the community, first responders, the fight on hunger, which this is, veterans. And so it's a multitude of things. We like to keep our volunteers engaged in different activities. So number one, when disaster comes, they'll be trained up. Mm-hmm. And we use this basically in part as a training exercise. And, the people learn, the different operations and it helps us tremendously. And we're just so, we're so glad that we could give back to this Hickory community is really blessed with what Austin and the Soup Kitchen does up there. Mm-hmm. Trust me, it's very well run organization and it does some really good stuff.
Yeah. So how did you, obviously you started before Operation Barbecue Relief, but how did you get Operation Barbecue Relief introduced to the program or this project that y'all have been doing for a while? And then tell me, what does Operation Barbecue Relief provide? Because I saw you guys last year, you got the big smokers out there, you got an army of volunteers. Don't let me spoil your answer, but how did you get involved with OBR into the Soup Kitchen project and what does OBR provide?
Yeah. Well, okay. So we like to do, like I say, always serving projects all across the country. If you go on our website, Operation Barbecue Relief .org or obr.org, we just, matter of fact, recently they redone the website completely. It's a lot user friendly than it used to be, and it tells about all the different events that we're doing. It may be in, Washington State or California or just all over the country because we have volunteers all over the country and doing different events. They are at the same time that we're doing this event in Nashville, Tennessee. We're partnering with Tracy Lawrence, country music star.
Oh, yeah.
And they're doing, I believe, they're frying some and we're smoking. And I believe they're going to do 800 is the goal, to do 800 this year. So now, we're doing 150. Hey, let me tell you, 150 is a lot of turkeys,
Yeah.
and it fills that 53-foot tractor trailer up of MDIs that's gracious enough to let us use. And I couldn't imagine, 800. They said they're going to have to do 2 terms to do that amount. So they'll be doing 400, I think, over a 2-day period.
Wow.
And so there's some, we're providing, like I say, we'll bring in what we call the doubles, which has 2 EDLXs on it that we can put 40, I think it's 40 turkeys on each one. And then I have a smoker also. And then we'll do sides to go with that, like Austin said. And we have tilt skillets. Austin has a tilt skillet now there at the Soup Kitchen.
Yeah.
So we use those to do our sides in mostly.
Okay.
You can fill one of those up and do 1,000 servings. So
wow.
That gives us some volume. So we'll be using that. And it's just like I said, Austin, we can't tell everybody what's in the brine, but there's some oranges in there. There's some garlic.
Well, now wait a minute. Why can't you tell the secret? This is a learning podcast. Folks want to know how to make their perfect turkey dinner.
I mean, hey, I tell you what, I'll help everybody out. So here, if you want to make a brine, you take 1 gallon. The basic is 1 gallon of water and 1 cup of salt, and then you can add what you want to it.
So we know oranges.
You can add oranges. You to me, you need some sweet in there, and that's part of the oranges. You could use brown sugar, you could use honey, different type things. Garlic. Just I like to take and look at recipes and try to combine them. Hey, I like this recipe. We like this recipe. We take both of them, kind of merge them together and come up with something. But now, just for, you think about 150 turkeys and you put them in the brine. That is going to be, I believe, it's like 50 gallons.
No, it's more than that now.
Okay, yeah, maybe it's probably 75 gallons.
I think it's 75 gallons.
Yeah, about 75 gallons of brine.
Wow.
So that's think about doing that. It takes we do that the week before, and like Austin said, come that Friday, we'll dump them in that brine. Monday morning, we'll pull them out, clean them off, throw the smoke to them. Monday and Tuesday is when we cook. And then Wednesday we'll be given out, and also last year we done a little. We went to the mountains, back up to the mountains, and we're doing that again some this year in correlation with this event at the same time. So got a lot of good things going on at Thanksgiving.
So when you get them out of the brine, so I'm imagining the Hickory Soup Kitchen just filled with tubs of turkeys filled in brine and turkey. Is that accurate, Austin?
No, it's in the truck. We did when Scott and I first started. That's what we did. It was insane. It was absolutely insane trying to get all those turkeys in those. That we have one walk-in cooler, man. One 8x8 walk-in cooler, and we were busy. The kitchen's working then. I mean, that's a busy time of year for us. So my staff and volunteers are also. We're serving our organization, other organizations, plus we've got this going on. So I can't remember. I guess it's when we moved into this building. We actually began to work out of a refrigerated tractor trailer.
Okay.
And so that brine is poured into the largest igloo coolers we can get our hands on. Some of them are poured into Cambro tubs too. If it don't have a hole in it and we can pour brine in it, we pour brine in it. We put them in all kinds of things.
Yeah.
But we fill that refrigerated truck. Basically, we take all those turkeys out of the truck. We take them out of the packaging and clean them.
Gotcha.
That brine is made, then we stick them right back in that truck in the brine, and then they'll sit over the weekend. It'll suck all that up. One thing Scott didn't mention, when they come out of that brine and we clean them up, then we rub them. Now, I don't know what's in the rub. Now, I really don't know what's in the rub.
More secrets.
Scott just shows up with it, man. Who knows?
Of course.
He probably changes it every year. I don't know. I guarantee you this. He don't measure. Not with measuring cups anyway. And so that's a very important part of it is once the brine has soaked in and gotten that flavor in the meat, and making sure that outside when it comes out, it's just golden brown. The most beautiful. If you didn't see the pictures that you took last year, I mean, if your audience didn't see those pictures, they should check them out. It's beautiful. They're so beautiful when they come out. It really is a labor of love to see these people, all these volunteers together, working to make it happen. Because the hard part is Scott and I are going through this pretty quickly. I mean, it takes days and days and days. You got 150 turkeys that come in. It takes a lot to get those unpackaged and cleaned up right and taken care of. Each one of them is going to somebody, who really cared about another individual enough to pay $50 for it. So the level of care that goes into this is it's phenomenal to watch.
Yeah, and it takes a lot of people too. I'm assuming that it's not just the OBR volunteers, but your regular volunteers at the soup kitchen.
I try and rope everybody that shows up within a 10-foot radius of me. If you show up and you're not looking like you're doing something, you're mine. I will put you to it. There is something to be said for the base of volunteers that we have in this community. There's no question that there are those who come back every year for it. I have a a friend. Her name is Dion, and her daughter Serenity have come every single day before Thanksgiving to make sure that those are given out, and she follows those lists that we have made, and deals with our guests as well as folks who have purchased it. Yeah. And she's been doing that a long time. Her daughter's been doing it since she was like, I don't know, 10. And she just graduated high school and just interned here over the summer and is now going off to college. So yeah, we got some deep roots with volunteers in this event for sure.
Yeah, and people just paying it forward. Take us to the other side too, Austin, the recipient piece of it. What are these meals meaning to the people who receive it around our community? And
that's the whole reason we do it. There's no question that the purpose is strictly for the folks that are in need. Scott always talks about the why, and I like taking that also and why we do things. And the reason we're doing this is because the people that receive it are so grateful at a time when in their life it could be the worst time of their life. It could be another year of the worst time of their life. You never know what somebody's been through. You don't know what this day means to another individual, whether it be the day they lost a child, they lost a friend, they lost their husband. They have a friend who's dealing with an illness. And there's so many different stories we've heard over the years from folks on why they felt led to push their pride out of the way and let us serve them. The quickest way to happiness is trying to make someone else happy. Mm-hmm. And you do that through compassion and generosity and kindness. And if you're feeling like you're down, you should help another individual. I assure you it is the fastest way to making your own life better too. And we have seen folks come. I remember one year we had a lady, Scott tells this story better than me, but I'm going to tell it. She came and she didn't have a ticket. We used to give tickets out mm-hmm. to the guests so that we would know who was coming and that kind of thing. And then this lady came and she didn't have a ticket. And I don't remember why we had extra, but we had extra. Mm-hmm. And Scott told her, he put his arm around her, and she was upset. He said, "You go right over there and you take this ticket." He had this ticket left in his pocket, I think, and he gave her that ticket. And she went right over there to that tent, and the elation, the weight lifted. I mean, you could see her. She grew 2 inches standing right there in front of us. You know, the truth is she was that tall all along. Mm-hmm. You know, Scott just took the burden off of her, you know, and I remember sitting back after that. You remember that, Scott? I remember sitting back and you mentioning, saying, "This is why I do this." There's times that you always remember, things like that happening. And this particular lady, when I give her that ticket, Chigger, it was like she had just won $1 million. Mm. I mean, that's hard to describe. And you probably say, no, that ain't. Yes, it was. It was like Austin says, whatever problem she had, it was just like they were all solved. And I remember that till the day I die. That and things hit you in this business that we're in, disaster, feeding people in disasters. We see people that, it don't matter. A disaster don't discriminate. It don't matter what you are. It don't matter how much money you make. You could have lost everything you had. I mean, in Hendersonville, when we were in Hendersonville last year, unfortunately, I heard some stories that just was unreal. I just couldn't imagine being in the situation that some of these people were in. So if us as OBR and the soup kitchen can provide a little bit of relief and get them, barbecue, Chigger, that's comfort food. Yeah. It's comfort food. It makes you want to, think about the times that you were at your grandmother's house
or that you was over at your uncle's house and you had a big party and you had all this food. And, when people invite you over to their house and they say, we're going to have a barbecue, hey, they're welcoming you with comfort. And that's what we try to do. We try to provide that meal to a community in need after a disaster, to just get their mind off of. That's the least we can do. Austin, I'm telling you, the Hickory Soup Kitchen, they've got several different programs that they give back to the community, not just that daily meal that they have. And it's just, hey, I'm just honored to be just a little part of it. And if we can do something good, like Austin said, hey, that's great.
That's a great segue for us to kind of promo Operation Barbecue Relief and Hickory Soup Kitchen and let folks know how they can get involved. Online, operationbbqrelief.org. They've got volunteer button. They've got donate button. You're right, Scott. That website is super easy to navigate. So shout out to the OBR folks that created something cool here. Very easy to get in and donate or volunteer. You can do that and provide help anywhere across the country, as Scott said, on cloudy days or blue sky days. For Hickory Soup Kitchen, it's hickorysoupkitchen.org. Another great website there, Austin. They've got all their services there. And of course, there's a donate now and a ways to help. And that's helping right here in the Hickory Metro. If you're in this community or you just want to help out this community. And guys, let me ask you, on the days that you're out there from Monday to Wednesday during the big cook, I know folks can sign up and get certified, but can folks just walk up and help out, or you want to discourage that? I just want to let people know.
I mean, we're open to, there is as far as our volunteers, but you can volunteer for the soup kitchen. I mean, we'll not turn anybody away. We do, when you volunteer with OBR, you actually have to do a background check. And the reason that is done is to protect yourself and others, to make sure that we don't have someone in our organization that shouldn't be. And so you do have to fill out, but it's super easy. You can go on your phone and download, OBR Volunteers app, and it'll walk you through it. Register to be a volunteer, sign up for the event. If, like I say, they've just redone the website. It's a lot user friendly than it used to be.
Yep.
So if you have any problems, there's links on there that anybody can answer questions that you need.
Yeah. So there's plenty of time to click and volunteer and get involved. In Austin, I know you guys are always looking for ways to help. And you've got it on your website, ways to help. There's the daily meal, packing and prepping, special projects. So lots of ways. You're always looking for volunteers.
Absolutely. And you can email us. That's usually the best way to get on that volunteer schedule. There is a link through our website for that. I would encourage you to do that, or the OBR. Part of that comes too is so that we can make you aware of when these events come up and when we might need help. So if we get your information, then that means we can keep you aware of what's going on and when those dates are. And but Chigger, if you want to come over, man, I got things for you to do. You bring your camera and we'll give you some quality control. You can do some taste testing while you're there.
Yeah. Hey, I'm not afraid. I know the way to Hickory Soup Kitchen. I've made that trip a few times over the summertime. But definitely look forward to the chance to see you guys when it's happening. Again, you can go to hickorysoupkitchen.org or operationbbqrelief.org and get details about donating and volunteering at both of those places. So guys, as we wrap it up here, I want to kind of close like I always do. And I know we've heard some of the passion in you guys' voice and the stories that you've shared, but I want to ask, what really keeps your fire burning? Why do you keep doing this after 10 years of this? And then just as a lifetime of support? First, Scott, why do you do it? And then maybe Austin, close us out.
Well, I always said in 2016, after I worked for UPS and I didn't have very much time to give back. And I always said when I retired that I wanted to give back. And then I had been barbecue. I've had a barbecue team for probably 15 years, and we competed all over. And I knew that this was something when I found out about the organization. My first deployment was in 2016. I've been going at it ever since, and I just love it. Great people, it's awesome. If you ever get a chance to volunteer, I'm sure, and we are blessed in North Carolina to have one of the biggest volunteer groups in the country. And we try to keep them involved with, just like you said, with events like this. But, it's the right thing to do. And it's just a joy. It's just like seeing the lady that, that it made her day. And it's like Austin said, that makes our day.
Austin, what about you?
So, a couple things. I keep doing it because people like Scott keep coming across my path.
Yeah.
I feel led a lot of times to do it. You can say it's the Lord. You could say it's inertia. You could say it's fate. You could say it's karma. But it keeps happening to me. And at the end of the day, Scott said it best. It's the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do. And it brings me such joy to see it in other people. And not just the folks we're serving, the folks who are doing the serving. It is as close to what I would think Christ-like is. We're a ministry here. We don't beat a Bible necessarily, but we just minister through feeding people. Anybody, we bring anybody in, and I think that mentality is something that is in our community here. It's like woven in the fabric. And so I think the community demands that we do things like this. And so as long as they keep asking us to do it, we'll keep doing it.
And that, my friends, is the final word from Austin Pierce from Hickory Soup Kitchen and Scott Jarrett from Operation Barbecue Relief. Guys, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you
for having us.
You've been listening to the Low and Slow Barbecue Show on the Mesh.tv network of podcasts. Find more podcasts, blogs, and barbecue goodness at our website, lowslowbbqshow.com. You can subscribe to our newsletter. We'll send you the latest Carolina barbecue news, events, and food truck schedules, and all that and more right to your email inbox. If you like what you hear, please give us a 5-star rating on our favorite podcast stream. Share our podcast with your friends, and be sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Thanks again to our guests today, Scott Jarrett and Austin Pierce. Thanks as well to the team at the Mesh.tv network of podcasts, especially our producer, Andrew Moose. Finally, thank you for listening to the Low and Slow Barbecue Show. I'm Chigger Willard, reminding you that for the best barbecue and the best barbecue podcast, make it low and slow.
You've been listening to The Mesh, an online media network of shows and programs ranging from business to arts, sports to entertainment, music to community. All programs are available on the website as well as through iTunes and YouTube. Check us out online at themesh.tv. Discover other network shows and give us feedback on what you just heard.